Hello. Welcome back to the channel. The March energy update. It's pretty wild to think that we are already entering into March. January, I don't know about any of you, but January was a month and it feels like February just flew by. And now we find ourselves in March, and boy, oh boy, is the energy going to be big. It's pretty wild. I usually start to receive energy for the coming month, usually a few days before the month begins. And I've started to feel the March energy, and it's going to be big. Like, the best word to say it is big. And so I hope that this forecast, one, can help you as you navigate the energy this month. And two, I invite you to come back to it throughout the month to see how some of these themes are landing for you, right? Because what I provide in this energetic forecast is the themes to be prepared for moving ahead for the month. I also provide any types of tools, tips, strategies that want to come through from the Akashic records to help support you in that, and also some channeled guidance. And sometimes, you might watch this and then be done with it for the month, but I really invite you to come back to it to see, one, how the themes are landing, and two, if some of these tools and practices can help you later in the month, maybe not so much at the beginning, right? So come back to this if you would like. I also want to say, if you're looking for deeper support on your journey, before I dive in here, I provide lots of different ways to, one, help you tap into your deeper gifts, two, help you find deeper support or deeper purpose in your life, three, help you feel less alone and just find clarity and guidance on your path, on your journey, so you don't feel like you're walking it on your own. One, I provide my one-to-one soul coaching. Two, I have my one-to-one readings, both Akashic Records soul readings and intuitive guidance sessions with spirit. And three, I have my Soul Empowered membership. And this is a very special offering that I provide. It is a monthly membership. And included in this are weekly live meetups where I provide channel guidance from the records and one-to-one support. We also have an online chat community where you can connect with others on the journey so you don't feel so alone in everything you're moving through. And you also have access to my library of guided meditations and all of my teachings and practices. So if you're looking for more support, more consistent support, if you're looking for accountability on your journey at a more cost affordable option, the Soul Empowered membership is definitely one of my offerings that I would recommend. I also have lots of freebies. So you can go to the link in my bio. I have a free Akashic Records tips for accessing guide. I have a Discover Your Power and Purpose mini course. I provide a free spiritual awakening guide to see where you're at on the journey. I provide a free guided meditation. So lots of freebies, and you can sign up for those freebies through the link in my bio. Let's dive in. Okay, we have got three big themes this month. Very exciting themes. The first theme I want you to be thinking about is big potentials and decisions for you to be experiencing this month. I get really curious around potentials because you hear all the time, oh, there's limitless potentials all at once. And while the records validated that there are, you also have a very specific soul journey and soul destiny that you are walking on this path in this life and other soul experiences as well. You have a destiny. And so while there are all of these potentials in your field that you can tap into, and this is sort of the human journey where we get to make choices on the path, there's also this destiny that you have that is the path. And so you can be making decisions and tapping into all these different potentials, but you're always being led on the path to your destiny and experiencing your destiny all at once. And so when it comes to potentials, they laid this out in a really cool way to understand. While there are limitless potentials, you always have choice with these pieces. And this comes down to the action, to the decisions that you make. Now, some of the decisions that you will make will create greater flow in your expansion. Some of the decisions that you will make will create greater contrast. But the most important thing to understand is that no decision is ever wrong. Every decision you make for you is perfect on your path. Because if you make a decision, right? So if you think about all these potentials that are always showing up, and especially in this month, there's going to be lots of potentials, lots of opportunities. If you make a decision around a potential that is more in flow for you, that's great. It creates more flow, more smoothness on the path, and you will feel that because it will be in deeper alignment with your intuition. Your intuition always knows. And what is right for us will often feel what is right in the sense of what is more in flow, what is in deeper alignment for our soul destiny will feel more smooth, will feel more in flow, will feel more open, will feel more grounded and rooted. Now, if you're making decisions this month that create more contrast, this is also good for you. Why? Because any decision you make that is in or that creates more contrast actually brings more to the surface the pieces within you, your shadow, fears, doubts, limiting beliefs that need to be brought up and processed and cleared in order for you to be able to tap more deeply into your intuition and make decisions that create greater flow. And so even when you think you're making the wrong decision for yourself moving forward, even if you're questioning this, you're worried about this, and let's say you do, like you can tell, oh, that was not the right decision for me. The invitation here is to see what is showing up, what is being brought to the surface that is asking to be processed, cleared from your system, clearing your channel so you have a deeper, clearer connection to your intuition. And therefore, thereafter, you are able to make decisions that create greater flow. So every decision is perfect. Every decision is good, no matter if it creates more flow or more contrast. But knowing that this month, there will be more decisions. There will be more opportunities coming through. And how will you choose to respond to all of that? Okay, the second theme this month is fiery energy. And what do they mean by that? Fire has the opportunity to create both destruction and creation, right? And I was given this visual of the phoenix that rises from the ashes. When we experience fire, this can really create destruction. It can collapse. It can break things down. It can destroy. And sometimes fire can have a really negative connotation, but often in the destruction is an opportunity for a rebuild, is an opportunity for something to be built from the ashes that actually can be in greater alignment. And so your job is to notice with the fire that shows up this month in different areas of your life or even within you. You can hear Sal, deep sigh. Take a moment, breathe in, reflect. Is this fire showing up because something is asking to be broken down? Because there's something that needs to be destructed here? Because there's something that needs to be destroyed? You got to be really honest with yourself in that reflection. Or is this fire showing up asking you to create something, asking you to do something with that fire, asking you to expand more into the fiery energy? But there is always opportunity with fiery energy. And actually, it is the energy that often we need for opportunity to expand. So how can you begin to create a new relationship with it? How can you begin to see that the fire that shows up is not always just wanting to create destruction, but is actually wanting to further into creation? The third and final theme this month is self-expression. And it was interesting because I started to get some nudges a couple days ago around the throat chakra. The throat chakra, these are my little chakra crystals that I have. The throat chakra represents our self-expression. You can see it as sometimes the ways in which you communicate with your external world. And for a lot of women, we can have a blocked throat chakra. If you haven't listened to the podcast episode that we released that Tess and I released last week, I talk all about anger and how for women, anger has been really suppressed. And it's not lost on me that women often also deal with thyroid problems. Well, thyroid is connected to the throat chakra. And so it all connects here, right? So I started to get these nudges around the throat chakra for the month of March. You're going to be invited and asked to step more into your self-expression, to step more into your voice, to step more into maybe speaking your needs, expressing your authentic self. And it doesn't always mean using our voice in a vocal way. Yes, that can be a beautiful way to unblock our throat chakra. That can be a beautiful way to express. This could also be through writing. This could also be through some other creative form where you are expressing self. It could even be in smaller ways, say in relationships, in conversations that you're having with others, where you're being asked to speak even just a little bit more of your truth. And so there could be two things that show up. For some, this could feel quite shadowy. So check in with yourself as I'm saying this. Does this feel shadowy for you? Does it bring up resistance? Are there fears, doubts, an icky feeling, a yucky feeling, even just a sense of wanting to disconnect from what I'm saying? Your invitation is to explore that, is to explore what is showing up within you that's asking you not to do this, because that might feel scary. That might feel like stepping out of the box. That might feel really unsafe. And so the invitation is to explore the shadow. For others, if you're listening to this, this might feel really exciting. This might get you, all the feel-good emotions coming, being like, ooh, how can I begin to do this month? And so your invitation is to explore this expansion. How can you step more out of what you're already doing in expressing yourself? How can you explore more creative endeavors? How can you embody more of your voice and your self-expression and expanding more into this piece? I'm going to provide some channeled guidance now from the records. And I thought, hey, it would be really cool to pull some cards. So I am using my Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck by Tori Hartman. Highly recommend a lot of her stuff. She's got a great book around the chakras. This has become one of my favorite decks over the years. It really helps me tap into a deeper connection with my intuition, especially through some really hard pieces where I had to make hard decisions. This deck was very supportive for that. You might find that if you use a deck, you also have a deeper connection with it. And often some decks will be for us, some decks won't. And, what I have found is I might get a deck and it doesn't always connect for me and I just let it go, or I give it away to someone, or it just sits until it's ready to be used, until it's ready to feel more in alignment for me. But I never really push it. And I always let the ones that speak to me, I always connect with those ones as they are speaking to me. So let's see what wants to come through. I'm going to pull a few cards here. Okay. So 3 cards that I got here, the soulmate card. I also pulled the perception card and bittersweet. Ooh, these connect already. I can really see them. Okay. The soulmate card. This one really connects to this piece of tapping more into your authentic self this month. And if we go back to what they said around soul destiny, that there is a journey that your soul has chosen to take here. Your human gets to make decisions, but often when we're not making decisions that are in deepest alignment and we're really veering off track, the universe will, as I like to say, hit us with a 2x4 to get us back on track. But exploring who you are on a deeper level this month is going to be connected to these themes. Because as you are making decisions for yourself this month, as you are choosing, tapping more into what you want, what you desire for yourself, Whether you make a decision that feels more in flow, like they were saying, and then that is connected more to your authentic soul destiny, or you make a decision that creates more contrast, you are getting to know yourself, your soul on such a deeper level in both of those experiences, because you will continue to receive this external validation of what is true for you and internal validation. You will be able to tell very quickly whether something is for you or whether it isn't. And this is in regards to the decisions that you make. You will be able to tell by the energy, whether that energy shows up very quickly or it is shown to you as you walk the path after making that decision. You will be getting to know yourself on such a deeper level this month and tapping more into your authentic self. And so trust that any decision that you make is right for you. Even when you think it isn't, even when you look back in hindsight, you can look back in your life and see the decisions that you made were the right ones for you. Even if you felt like they led you to a place that you shouldn't have gone, they led you exactly where you were supposed to go, so long as you were open to see what was showing up. And if you still feel like it wasn't wrong for you, then the invitation is to go back to those moments, explore them more, and understand that it was so right for you. And what did it bring up for you? And what was the expansion that was available to you? And how were you meant to know yourself on a deeper level through that process? The next card that came up, perception. And this really connects to what they were talking about with the throat chakra and self-expression. It actually connects also to making decisions. Like what I'm seeing on a subtle level with some of the themes that came through was there's like these two sort of sides or energies that are going to be presented to you this month. The shadow or the light, the ego or the soul, right? And how you perceive all of that will be your superpower, because none of it is wrong. None of it is bad. All of it is important and all of it is perfect on your path. So really practicing awareness, practicing being the observer of everything that you are experiencing and noticing how you are perceiving the things that are showing up in your life. Are you choosing to see them through a lens of trust, through the soul, through the deeper wisdom that will tell you all of it is important, all of it matters, all of it is for me and for my expansion? Or are you choosing to perceive them through the lens of ego? This is wrong, this is bad, this is happening to me, I am a victim, I can't make it out of this or through this. Very different energy that comes through in those perceptions. And your freedom and your empowerment is found in rooting into the perception of trust and the soul. The last card, and this makes so much sense with that fiery energy that came through, is bittersweet. Bittersweet. Also so interesting, blue represents the throat chakra. Bittersweet, that analogy they gave around creation and destruction. That it's going to feel good when we get to create anew, when we get to build something fresh, when we get to have the eyes of a new vision, of a new fresh energy, but also bittersweet in the destruction of something, in the collapsing, in the releasing. And so the invitation here is, can you hold space for the grief that might show up in the destruction of whatever that piece is? But can you also hold space for the excitement and the hope that wants to come through in the new, fresh energy of whatever that piece is? That is truly mastering this experience. It's the really human stuff that we have to learn how to hold space for, that we have to learn how to hold, while also the soul energy that has no bounds, that has no limits, that feels open and expansive. And your invitation, and this is how you become the master of this experience, is learning how to embody, how to experience both simultaneously on the journey. Beautiful guidance. I'm so excited for this month ahead. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. And so let yourself tap into that. Let yourself explore the big energy. And remember, anytime there is big energy, always grounding, having your grounding practices, having the pieces that you can tap into each day that allow you to ground the big energy into your body for the embodiment of that energy. As always, I'm here to support you. If you need help, please let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out. I am here, wishing you so much love on your journey ahead.